It's the simple things like the way you hold my hand. It's that loving look and I know you'll understand. It's a special way you laugh and then I know every day I feel our love will grow. Oh, memories, memories, memories to share. It's the time you kept me warm when I was cold. It's the thought of living together till we're old. It's the joy I felt when we went on a date. No more standing at the garden gate. Oh, memories, memories, memories to share. It's the pride I felt when we watched our children grow. It's the photographs we took so long ago. It's the empty rooms, we don't use them anymore. It's the children's heights we marked upon the kitchen door. Oh, memories, memories, memories to share. It's the joy we felt when our grandkids came along. We can hardly believe how quickly they have grown. We hope that they have a long and happy life, and I hope they carry with them all the love we've shown them. Memories, memories, memories to share. Memories, memories, thank you for your care. Memories.
And I'm delighted to say that Jimmy and his producer Kris Barr have joined me in the studio today, so it's welcome to Radio Saltire, gentlemen. It's lovely to see you.
Thank you very much indeed. It's a pleasure to be here.
I've got a few questions for you, Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you tell our listeners a wee bit about who you are?
Yes. I was born on the 28th of October 1947, which makes me 76 on my next birthday. I've always liked music. My earliest memories was when my dad used to play the organ and sing on a Sunday morning. It was the only time we ever really saw him, because other than that he was out working. And that was a joyous time for me, because he sang all kinds of songs and I joined in and had a great time. So I've had a love for music from a very early age.
How did your musical interest come about with your songwriting?
Well, it really was since the days I was telling you about, when my dad singing in the Sunday morning. But as we grew up, I joined the choir at the school. That was always good fun, and we actually won. It was at that time I was at Dunrobin Primary School in Airdrie, and we actually won the contest for Lanarkshire schools while I sang in that choir. So that was great. And then as I grew into a teenager, I think everybody in the 60s was wanting to be in a band. So we formed a wee band. We weren't very good, but we did enjoy it. And after about 4 years, we got a bit better and played in places like the Barrowland and the Parleys, the local Parleys, Lanark Parley, and Larond and Coatbridge and different places. And that was really exciting and good. But as happens, we all reached a certain age where the girls attracted us. So we were all pulled apart with different girlfriends and things. And that's when I met my wife. And we actually got married in 1970. And had a couple of kids. So between the kids and bringing them up and working, I had no time to be a band player or anything like that. So I just buried it deep in my head and said I'll get back to it when I've got the time. Well, 40 years went by and I did nothing. Then I retired and I said to my wife, I said, I'm going to buy a guitar and try some things. So I did. And after a few weeks, I realised I'd forgotten nearly everything I'd learned, you know. So I just knew a few basic chords. So I started playing again in the house on my own and getting up to speed. And I had thought about trying to write music, but nothing ever came, you know. It was like a blank page until one morning I woke up. And I just felt quite strange, you know. There was something there I had to do. So I went and got a notepad and I just started writing down the words of memories. And it just came to me, like, I never even faltered, I just wrote it. And then I put a tune to it. And I mind creeping through to Jan, my wife, and saying, listen to this, what do you think? She said, it's no bad. I said, but imagine if it was dressed up a bit and, you know, it had a proper backing track and stuff. So that's where Kris came in. I met Kris at Pizza Express. Kris was delivering pizzas at night, and we had a chat, and I realised he liked music and I liked music. So we kind of got together, and I realised that he had similar ideas as I had about music, about the balance and how things should be done. So hence what's been produced, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the experience, and I'm looking to do a lot more.
Right. Did you find it an easy or challenging process to write music?
I did think it was going to be an awfully challenging process, but after what had happened with this waking up and having the songs in my head, it seemed to be quite easy. But I've learned it's no easy. You just think you're doing well. Some of the stuff I wrote was absolutely terrible, and it's been binned, you know, for never to be heard again. But no, we just take it bit at a time, Kris and I, and I've got quite a number of songs lined up to be done. So we'll be in touch when we've got more stuff ready.
That's magic. Right, so really, what was the inspiration for the song Memories? Is there any background to that?
Yeah, there is. It was the story of me and the wife. I met her and we courted for a while, and I used to always just get standing at the garden gate with her, never get any further, you know. And then once we got a wee bit more used to each other, I got into the house, you know, and I got a heat. It was cold. Anyway, so that's what it was all about. No more standing at the garden gate. And then the song was about our children growing up and marking the heights and the doors, and we don't use the rooms anymore and all this. So my kids have grown up now, and they've had kids of their own, and we've got 5 great grandkids, which is great.
What do your kids think of it?
They love it.
They love it.
They think it's great.
Good.
Right.
Okay, well, let's take a break for more music, and this time it's Judgement Day.
Think that I should know. You might see a whole lot more. You might hear the creaking of the door. But I'm not sure, you gotta try. I don't know the reasons why. I'm unsure of what I have to do. People say this and people say that. Does anyone know where it's at? Will the fortune teller tell us what we need to know? Everybody's searching for the truth, the reason why there is no proof. Do you believe the holy man on a Sunday? Oh, save your soul, that's what he'll say. everyone, it's time to pray. Do you know anyone whose prayers have been answered? Still I have my doubts and fears. We huddle close through the years and hope to see the truth dancing in the fire. At the end, who knows where we go? Who's right or wrong? I don't know. They talk about the size of space and our place in it. I can't comprehend what they say. Perhaps we should just kneel and pray. We'll never know until the judgment day. So you might think that I should know. You might see a whole lot more. You might hear the creaking of the door on Judgment Day. On Judgment Day. Judgment Day.
Yeah, welcome back. You're listening to the Golden Oldies Show with me, Jim Mcgarvie, on Radio Saltire, and I'm still talking to my special guests, Jimmy Findlay and Kris Barr. And we've just heard another of Jimmy's songs, and that was Judgment Day. So, Jimmy, can you give me a wee background to Judgment Day?
Yes, I can. Judgment Day came about because a friend of mine called Jimmy Telfer that I used to visit every Monday night, and we used to have a few pints at his house, which was good fun. And he and I used to talk a lot about all kinds of things, you know, how did we ever come about being here on this planet, and what will happen when we die, and all this kind of stuff. And he was very deep, he was very knowledgeable about a lot of things. And unfortunately, poor Jimmy got killed. So in his honour, I wrote that song.
Yeah, it's a lovely song. I must admit, it's a lovely song. Right, we'll now go to Kris Barr, the man that...
Jimmy's sidekick.
Jimmy's sidekick and the man who records Jimmy. Kris, can you tell me a wee bit about yourself?
Sure, Jim. My background's probably a bit less colourful than Jimmy's, but I got into music when I was young, I suppose, because when music came on, like the radio and things, I'd be singing along, or I would have a tiny wee Casio keyboard for like the 80s, and I would be trying to copy what I heard, and my mum says, I'm going to keep playing that because it's pretty good, and so I got into it basically just by trying to copy things that I heard, and every year the running joke was I was wanting a new keyboard, so the next conversation was about the cost every year going forward with these keyboards, but it proved that it really helped me improve and get into music. And when I got into like at school and that, there was school bands and things like that, and I was a big part of that. When I got into my 20s, I joined a wedding band, and we played the kind of wedding circuit for a number of years, and really enjoyed that. It was really interesting, been out on the road, and then eventually I kind of the band split up, and we decided to do our own kind of thing. And at the time, I had a bit of a problem with my kind of singing voice, and I didn't seem to, for some reason, it just wasn't the same. And it gets you down when something you used to be able to do and you can't do it anymore. So I took up the production side of things, and I bought a tiny wee 4-track recorder and then recorded the band and put together a couple of demos and realised that I seemed to be quite good at it. So I took it from there, and I got a better computer and better software, and really got going with it. Practiced maybe for about 5 years it took to get to a level that I thought I was getting somewhere with it. So up until really I met Jimmy, I'd recorded several local bands and a couple of kind of bands wanting to produce some demos. So that day, that fateful day in Pizza Hut, and
So tell us a wee bit about how you met Jimmy then.
well, I was working. It was during one of the many lockdowns. I think there was like 40 of them or something. But lockdown 1, I met Jimmy. I was working at Pizza Hut in Wishaw. In arrived Jimmy and just thought he was a regular customer. And we got chatting and found out that Jimmy's had a big interest in music, and he was actually writing some of his own songs, which I thought was a bit odd for somebody given Jimmy's age. So during the discussion, it came out that Jimmy was wanting to do produce some of his songs that he'd written and make a go at recording them, in which I agreed. So it would give me a bit of experience as well. But what I noticed was that when, given Jimmy's age, I thought, I mean, I'll come and record you, but I don't know what, I wasn't sure what to expect. Some kind of older gentleman asked to record music, but it transpired that the music that Jimmy wrote, and I couldn't believe it. I thought, I mean, it was mature and it was quite heartfelt, and his lyrics, I think they really resonate with a lot of different people, and I think people can relate to the stuff that Jimmy writes about. So that's really how I got.
Well, you've actually answered my next question, because I was going to ask you what you think makes Jimmy's music so good, but you've answered that one for me perfectly. Jimmy, what are your musical plans now, and where do you want to go from here?
Well, funny you should say that or ask that. I'm not really that sure. I've got this body of work which I'm quite proud of, and we're going to record it all. But I don't know if I'll ever become famous or make a lot of money at it, you know. It was done just as a project because during lockdown everything was dead. There was no open mic nights available to go to, or any bands. No bands were playing, so I couldn't go and hear music. So I decided just to make my own. And it's turned out quite good. I'm not saying it's great, but to me, I'm satisfied. It's good enough to listen to. And we'll just need to play it by ear and see where we go. We've got a few other people interested in talking to us and a similar thing like this. And we'll just play it by ear and take it as it comes, you know.
I actually hear that you're thinking about doing an album.
Well, I was saying that to Kris on the way up. We could maybe, once we've got enough songs ready, put it on a wee album and see if it's got a selling power, you know. But that's something, again, I've never had anything to do with. I don't know how much Kris would know about that, but he seems to know a bit more than me. So we'll maybe try that. But we're also talking about maybe forming a wee foursome or something like that, and trying to find a nice lounge that we can in Glasgow or Edinburgh or somewhere where we could go in a corner and play, and people could still have their conversation but listen to us in the background and bring a bit of jazz into it and stuff like that. So I've got a lot of ideas.
And Kris, what about you? Where are you going to here?
Pretty much similar to Jimmy. I mean, I'm prepared to do some gigs and whatnot. Jimmy's, I think, wanting exactly that, to find some place quiet that Jimmy's music would fit in. Mm-hmm. Myself, personally, I think that, you know, it'd be good to, I mean, if there's obviously people looking to record music, I mean, my whole vision is, and Jimmy's kind of said this, is I think how we get on, how we're compatible, is the fact that I like songs to be, the heart of songs are the message, so the vocals have to be pretty clear and up front and the main kind of part. So if there are people looking to obviously record music kind of locally, I mean, I'm sure we could do that. We could work with people and try and get more kind of
more clients.
More clients,
aye.
Well, thanks Jimmy and Kris for coming along to the studio today. It's been fantastic to hear from you, to hear your stories. It's really, really, really uplifting. A big thank you to both of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We've fair enjoyed it.
Yeah, really have.
I see you passing by, the sun is shining in the sky. Every time I see you passing by, I sigh. What are the chances of meeting you? Think of all the things we could do. I'd like to think that we could be in love, just you and me. Life's too short, so they say. You pass me by again today. Your face is like a summer's day. Please look my way, my way. Someday we will get together, be it fair or stormy weather. When it happens, I'm sure you'll be the perfect girl for me. I have imagined for a long, long time, someday you could be mine. Then I saw you again today. Please look my way. Life's too short, so they say. You pass me by again today. Your face is like a summer's day. Please look my way, my way. Every time I see you passing by, the sun is shining in the sky. Every time you pass me by, I sigh. What are the chances of meeting you? Think of all the things we could do. I'd like to think that we could be in love, just you and me. Life's too short, remember this. All I want is a little kiss. Please do not deny me this, don't pass me by. Every day I see you passing by, I sigh.
That was Hopeful Love by Jimmy Findlay, and my thanks once again to Jimmy and his music producer Kris Barr for coming along today. Now you can listen to more of Jimmy's work by going online to YouTube and searching for Jimmy Findlay. And I'm delighted to say that Jimmy and Kris will be back in the studio for more chat in a 1 hour special that's going to be coming to Radio Saltire soon. So please listen out for that. In the meantime, if you'd like to hear this interview once more, please go to Radio Saltire Mixcloud page and listen again.